the Ultra, in conversation with some dare call it conspiracy. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. You continue to enjoy this enlightening series where I'm asking the questions rather than the questions being asked of me. We started the series with a conversation with Sue Smith, and then we moved on to the Sidley twins and the Duchess of Narcissus. We've heard from Jen from Real Housewife Recaps, Tarot by Andy, Michelle from Royal Daily Tea, Baggage Claim, Avid Gardener, and Steph, the altar nerd. As you know, Murdered by Crayons is on the horizon, but we also have another intriguing conversation that will be of interest to many of you as I speak to, some dare call it, conspiracy. What's all that about? Well, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. After all, we're now entering the shady world of conspiracies. But why don't you consider what might be in store? Thank you as ever to those of you that continue to recommend people for me to converse with. As always, you can suggest them in the comments beneath this video or contact me direct at narcissist1909@gmail.com. I also encourage you to contact the relevant YouTubers direct, and you can pass to them my email address and invite them to get in touch with me if they'd like to increase their exposure by joining me in a conversation or having the opportunity to articulate their views as elicited by me, the Ultra. I know there are certain names that many of you have mentioned, and I'll be providing you also with a video in due course giving you an update on certain individuals as to where we're at in relation to them joining me in conversation. But for now, keep them coming. Remember, it's not just about this one's wife. Other subjects are just as interesting and compelling. And narcissism is something that bleeds into so many different aspects of life, and thus there are many topics where there will be a particular area of mutual interest. But back to some dare call it conspiracy. And what is waiting in store for you? Well, my valuable viewers, here's a little taste for you.
Could take something like the Moonlanding being fake and just go, okay, fine, I could understand why. In the theory, it was so that they were fighting, to prove their dominance against the Soviets or whatever. But then there's other levels of that say, no, Neil, you see, it was to do with Freemasons and some sort of ritual that needed to be performed on the moon. And so, like with all of these things, there's varying degrees of it. But I suppose the Olympics and going, oh, well, this is a satanic ritual. And it's like, well, okay, can you show me the source material? Can you show me the satanic document, the Goetia, the Book of Spells, or whatever that actually has this in? Well, no, but it's a red dress. It's like, that's not the same. But you've created that reality to fit. And what you Paul McCartney's ghost, who taught him how to play the bass left-handed. And it's like,
yeah, sounds legit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you can't be serious. Like, there's elements of that where you could say, all right, they did it to the dog on Blue Peter. There's financial reasons that they might do that. I mean, it's all sort of undercut by the fact that 2 years later the Beatles split up anyway. Like, suggestion that Simon Cowell was gay. And bizarrely, his excuse when he sort of almost got exposed by Louis Theroux was that just wouldn't. Of course, that'd be fine, because like if I was, I would admit it because I'm in the arts and that's fine. It's like, but that's not true.
Well, I'm sure that has piqued your curiosity, whet your appetite, and you might even have had your gast flabbered with some of the subjects that have been mentioned there, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. You can join me for a scintillating discussion and conversation with Neil Sanders of Some Dare Call It Conspiracy. But when is this event taking place? Sunday, 4th of August, 4 o'clock UK time, 5 p.m. Central European time, 11 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, and 8 a.m. Pacific time in the United States. For those of you down under, my valuable viewers on the other side of the world, it will be 11 p.m. in Perth and 1 a.m. on Monday morning in Sydney. But it's well worth staying up for, believe me. So make sure you keep space in your schedule to watch the fascinating conversation between me, the Ultra, and Neil Sanders of Some Dare Call It Conspiracy. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.